Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to partition a hard drive. Now what partitioning is essentially using software you're going to be dividing a hard drive into two or more sections or partitions, effectively making it appear to Windows and function as if it was two separate hard drives. Now there might be a few different reasons why you would want to do this. Maybe you're wanting to dual boot multiple operating systems on your computer. And so what you can do is you can partition your boot drive into two partitions, each partition having a different operating system installed, or you may want to use it to organize your programs, different types of programs, or other files onto different drives. There are quite a few reasons why there may be, but today I'm going to be showing you how you can do that. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up Start menu, and you're going to search Create, spell create properly, and format hard disk partitions. And this is the Windows feature or tool that allows us to create these partitions. Now once this loads up, it's going to load up all of our drives. We've got disks 0 to 4, and the drive that I'm going to be demonstrating it on is this one here. So make sure that you select the right drive when you're doing this. You don't want to accidentally delete or mess up some of your other drives that may have data that you don't want to get deleted. Now the cool thing about this is that the drive does not have to be blank for you to split it up into multiple partitions. However, what you do need to remember is that you cannot create a second partition that is more or greater in size than the amount of free space on the hard drive. So you see here we've got this hard drive. It's a 450 gig drive, 500 gig drive. We click on that and we've got 220 gigs of free space. So the second partition that I'm going to create on this drive cannot be greater than 220 gigabytes. So once you've got the hard drive that you're wanting to create this partition in, you're going to want to right click and you're going to want to click Shrink Volume. Now this is the method of doing it if the drive is uninitialized and already has stuff stored in it. I'll do another video for if it is a completely brand new drive. So what you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to shrink that current partition, and you're going to want to shrink this by however big the size is of the second partition that you want to create. So we can see here we've got 225 gigabytes free, 225.5 gigabytes free. I want to create, let's say, a 30 gigabyte partition. So I'm going to shrink it by 30,000 megabytes or 30 gigabytes. We're going to enter that in. As you can see, after I've done that, the first partition is still going to be 429 gigs out of 459. So we're going to go ahead and click Shrink once you've put in this value. Going to hit Shrink, give Windows a little bit of time to sort it out, depending on how fast your system is. As you can see now, we've got this partition here that is unallocated, 29.3 gigs, essentially the 30 gigs that we just keyed in before. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to right click on that. And now we're going to do New Simple Volume. And if you've ever plugged in a new hard drive, internal hard drive into your computer before and you've had to initialize it in Windows, you'll recognize this process because now your computer is picking up the second partition as if it is a second hard drive. So now we're going to go through the New Simple Volume wizard, hit Next, you can change the size, hit Next, then we're going to give it a drive letter. I'm just going to give it Z. You can mount it in NTFS folders, or you can choose not to assign it a drive letter or drive path, but we're going to give it that drive letter. We hit Next, then we're going to set it to format when it creates this volume. This is a good thing to do when creating a new volume, and you can also change the name of it. So we're going to name this New Partition. It doesn't matter what you name it whatever you would like to name it. You can leave it as whatever it was before, your default name. So once you've done that, you can choose whether you want it to be FAT32 or NTFS. NTFS is what you should be selecting for internal hard drives, and you can change the allocation unit size, leave it at default, unless you have a specific reason to choose one of these other sizes. So then we're going to hit Next. It's going to review all of our information. We want to make sure that that's all correct. As we can see, 30,000 megabytes or 30 gigabytes. NTFS, it's got that drive letter or path that we specified, and it's going to rename it New Partition. Once we've done that, we can hit Finish. Give your system a little bit of time. Again, depending on how fast your system is, it could take a bit of time, and also depending on how big the partition is. So as we can see, that finished, and that's automatically opened it up. So we've got all of our drives here, and we've got our new partition that we created, Z, 29.2 gigabytes free of 29.2 gigabytes. And there we have it. There's our 30 gigabyte partition. So if I wanted to go ahead and install, say, Linux or Windows 7 and dual boot an operating system, when I'm installing that operating system, I select drive Z as my boot drive, and it will install to drive Z, and then we can boot up off of either that or our host OS drive. So what I'll do now is I'll show you how to put it back. Say for example you want to get rid of that partition, and you want to make your hard drive one whole partition again. You're going to want to go to the partition that you're wanting to get rid of. In this case it's the one we've just created. It is very, very important that you select the right partition, because if you delete or shrink or remove the wrong partition, you will lose all of your data in that partition. So please remember that, and disclaimer before you go ahead and do anything like this: I don't take responsibility for anything that you may lose because of selecting the wrong partition. Once you are 100% sure you got the right partition, you're going to click on it, you're going to hit right click, and you're going to go delete volume. We're going to get a warning message. It'll raise all data on it. Again, make sure this is the right volume. Do you want to continue? We're going to hit yes. And so now it's going to delete that volume, and it's going to go back to unallocated space. Now what we're going to need to do is we're going to go back to our main partition on that drive. We're going to right click, and we're going to hit extend volume, because now we're going to add that chunk of space, that 30 gigabytes, back onto our main partition. So we've got the extend volume wizard. We're going to hit next, and then what we're going to want to do is we're going to select the disk that we are wanting, or the partition that we are wanting to put back onto our main partition. We're going to select it here, 30 gigs. We're going to hit next, then we're going to hit finish, give it a bit of time, and as you can see, it's added it back to this partition. We've now got a total of 450 gigabytes again. And if we exit out of here, open up my PC, we can see that's gone, and HDD4 is back up to its full size. So anyway, that's everything for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any further questions about this, feel free to leave them down in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.